Okay, is it wrong to say the Israeli lobby plays an outside influence in U.S. foreign policy making? And here you get into a very sensitive issue. I think that it's a statement of fact, and it's correct to say that AIPAC, the main pro-Israel lobby, is very influential in the U.S. Congress. But the United States is not a parliamentary system, and foreign policy is influenced by Congress, but by no means is made by Congress. And that's an important distinction to understand how the United States makes decisions of war and peace and important foreign policy decisions. It is often done in the executive branch. And my concern is that oftentimes the sort of self-appointed critics of the Israeli or pro-Israel influence on U.S. foreign policy ignore the existence of other lobbies, such as the Saudi and big oil companies that have a lot of influence as well on U.S. foreign policy. The other thing is that when you talk about, and you move very subtly from influence to the issue of control, does Netanyahu have a veto on U.S. policy? Does Israel control the U.S. government? Then you're really into you're part of a long and historical and nasty anti-Semitic trope about the power of Jews to influence and control foreign governments, the international banking system, the media, and so forth. And that, I think, is an important distinction. So sometimes when people talk about the Israel lobby and they talk about it factually, like, well, AIPAC doesn't like a particular bill, I mean, that to me is a statement of fact, and it's fine. And I think I encourage, reporting and openness of, on all lobbies and all aspects of foreign policy making. It's when I think it crosses into that line where it focuses exclusively on the pro-Israel lobby and doesn't acknowledge the existence of other lobbies and acts as if Howard Core of AIPAC somehow has more of a veto on things than the National Security Advisor or the Secretary of Defense or the President himself. And that's, I think, the realm of what I would call anti-Semitic fantasy.